Give me a 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys,
welcome.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, Cord.
Welcome back, Tory.
Thank you.
I know. Where have we been?
We've been off celebrating the holiday season, as many of you guys were. So I hope everyone had a very merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, very happy full moon day this past week.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Boxing Day if you're listening in Canada.
I'm kind of shocked at how popular Festivus has gotten. Do you know what I'm talking?
I have no idea what that is.
I obviously spend too much time on Instagram because Festivus is the made up holiday from Seinfeld.
Okay.
That Mr. Costanza, what's his name?
George Costanza?
No, his father made it up.
Okay.
And it's like it involves just putting a metal pipe in your living room as if it's a Christmas tree.
Okay.
And the festive part of it is like at dinner that night, you swear each other out and you're like, you've bothered me by doing this and this and this all year long.
Okay.
But it's just great.
Awesome.
And on Instagram, I follow all these Seinfeld
Can we do that
accounts.
right now?
Fire away.
You bothered me by being too good of a friend all year long.
Oh, God. Oh. God, your beard's itchy. Right back at you. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Tory's birthday was recently.
Oh, jeez.
And he always complains that people always get him one gift opposed to two. And now
I do.
And I usually just get him one, but this year I felt compelled to get him a second one. So here you go, Tory.
Thank you, sir.
I'm handing him a present right now.
Should I open it?
Yes,
okay.
please.
Your first gift was honestly amazing.
Wasn't it?
Really was. It was.
Tell everyone.
It was the Marvel Cinematic Universe Encyclopedia.
Yes. This big book with
which
a bunch
was
of comic
amazing,
characters.
which I've been wanting for a super long time.
I know you
and
have.
It was really, really great.
I know you have.
1, 2, 3. Oh, the same thing for DC.
Beautiful.
This is fantastic, guys. Look at this.
Look at
the
that.
DC Comics, the Ultimate Character Guide.
Yes.
Same thing, like the equivalent to what the Marvel one was. I don't even know who that guy is. He looks like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but
it's not.
Like a disco.
Yeah, like a disco stew type of vibe. All right, can you name these characters, Cord?
I can name Superman, Batman, Joker, Green Lantern.
Where's Joker?
Joker's right there.
Oh, okay, Joker. Yep.
Is that Wonder Woman?
That is. No, that's not Wonder Woman. Is that Wonder Woman? No, I think that's Zatanna.
Ooh, and I don't know who these characters are.
All right. That's Darkseid, a Superman villain. That looks like Solomon Grundy. These are a little. These aren't the typical drawings of some of them. So
okay.
I mean, generally, yeah. But I think that might be Wonder Woman, like an alternate costume Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But it might no, that's definitely Wonder Woman because Zatanna is a magician and she always dresses in like a suit and jacket.
Oh.
And this guy, I think he's a villain from the Flash universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. But also, speaking of the Flash, boom, right
bam,
there.
bam, and go ahead. There's something on the inside.
There's something on the inside.
Turn the next page.
Oh, okay. Next page.
Read it out loud.
Sorry, dude. There's no inscription in this one. That's okay. Thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. These are going right on my coffee table.
Yes.
And I don't even drink coffee, but I needed some books for it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
This is fantastic. Thank you, sir.
We hope you guys had a great holidays too.
Yep.
We missed you. We wanted to take last week off because we didn't want to bombard you with an episode that you had to listen to like before, your big dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah. So here's your present now with episode number 36.
36. And Tory, this is the last episode of 2015.
Yeah,
the year that we started this podcast.
And we've done out of 52 weeks, we've done 36 episodes.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
That's probably a D.
Well, there's been some reasons why we couldn't.
Yeah.
We've been out of town. We've been working, sickness here and there.
36 out of 52 is a great.
Exactly. Especially
year.
Since we first got started, and we were like, let's just kind of put a microphone in front of our face and see what happens. And we've been doing this more and more steadily since then. Yeah. And enjoying it even more so. So I'm proud of that number.
I'm proud of it too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked that we've gotten this.
You know, and granted, we purposely took off the week of Christmas, so it could be 37.
Yeah,
and,
but we're not gonna.
No, we were out of town and stuff, so this is a good number. This is a good number.
Yeah, we're happy with it.
Hey, Court, what are we talking about in episode 36?
36 is jam packed. Jam packed. We're gonna talk about some of the movies that have come out and some of the trailers that have come out, but also Tory's gonna shed some light on. Especially if you're actors, you're going to want to listen to this.
Yeah.
Pilot season is approaching or is upon us or whatever.
Yep.
And Tory has a lot of information and has a lot of experience with it. And if you're if you're an actor or if you just want to know more, I honestly don't know much about it, and I can't wait to hear what Tory has to share. Tory's going to dive into like when it starts, when it stops, how to prepare, do's and don'ts, mindsets, all this stuff that's going to be really helpful to.
Exactly. So if you're an actor, listen up because this is an important episode to prepare yourselves for the beginning of the year.
Yes. Right. Now, Tory, inform everyone. Did you or did you not see Star Wars?
I did not see Star Wars yet.
Oh, God, that freaked me out.
Yet.
Yes. And you were just so busy you couldn't get to the theater.
You know what? Also, I'm still going through the. You gave me the collection of like 1 through 6 to see. I'm on episode of 1 of that, so I'm still working my way through those.
Yeah.
And I want to finish all of those before, because I know I've seen some of them not in completion.
Right.
I've definitely hadn't seen episode 3 at all. So I want to see those in order. In completion before I go and see Star Wars in the 4DX theater.
Yes. Yeah, so on a future episode, Tory and I will chat about our Star Wars experience. I saw it twice the past week, and I've been following it, nonstop. All the records it's breaking. Sure. It has the record for the most records.
It has a record for the most records? Does it really?
Yes.
Jeez.
That sums up just how successful it's been
now, without any spoilers, I've seen some posts on Facebook and social media that people don't like it. They think it's like too much like the originals, or not enough like the originals, or they think it's exact same episode as episode 6. Do you like this
episode?
Do you like episode 7? Do you think it's creative? Do you think it's a good movie?
It's an awesome movie.
Okay.
I could see why you would. There's things to pick apart about it.
Sure. As with any movie. But, like, the context that you should have walked into the theater with is, this is no longer George Lucas's Star Wars. Okay.
And this is a Star Wars. This isn't just a movie. It's a mega brand.
Right.
And they packed a cannon and they exploded the cannon. They had to shoot a cannon that would basically, project a huge arc of excitement and expectations.
Sure.
And worldwide connection with it.
Yeah.
It's not just made
Global.
for an American audience anymore.
Yep.
So I could see why some people are upset about some things about it. I just had a conversation with a buddy of mine named Chris, and he dove into why, things he was picking apart about it. But he kept saying, I really did like it, but I am picking it apart. And that's, look, if you're a diehard fan, or if you love Star Wars in some respect, it's like somebody taking your child for the weekend, and then he comes back with dyed hair, and you're like, whoa, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
He's back in one piece, and he had a great time, but his hair's messed up.
Right.
Terrible analogy. I'm sorry, but that's kind of the somebody took our little baby and has pushed it forward.
Sure.
And you know what? It's like once episode 8 comes out and you start to see the movie really unfold. I think everyone's gonna be like, yes, episode 7 was awesome. Episode 8's even better. So on and so forth.
Episode 7 was a foundation for episode 8.
It was the reignition for not just 3 movies, but for Rogue One, for the Han Solo spin-off movie, for Disney, for Star Wars Land in the Disney World Park and Disneyland Park. and probably a TV show, yada yada, and movies or in toys. So it's like it had to do a lot, and I could see how some people are saying it wasn't a perfect movie, and it's like, oh, of course it's not gonna be a perfect movie.
Okay, I challenge all those naysayers to make a better movie.
Yeah.
Do that. Hey, speaking about Star Wars, there's this great, I forget if it was either Yahoo News or some online publication. They interviewed the cast and crew of Star Wars and challenged them to play a game of Star Wars or Florida, which I love any game that's or Florida, because there were so many just crazy things.
Give me an example. I saw you post it, but I didn't. What was one? They're questions, right?
Pantsless woman found in dumpster. Star Wars or Florida?
Florida.
Ah.
Yes.
Ah.
No.
Actually, it's actually both. It's actually both. Princess Leia was wearing a dress when she went down to shoot. So that's kind of one.
Being from Florida, I take no offense to those types of jokes because man, Florida really attracts some bizarre crap.
Hey man, like they took the cake when the dude was on bath salts and started eating other people's faces.
The zombie guy, yeah, the real life zombie.
Yeah, like I expect nothing worse from Florida.
Yeah. Oh, funny connection. The DC sniper.
Yeah.
Who Tory played in a movie.
Yeah.
He went to my high school in Florida.
Did he? Did he?
I went over his house a few times.
And
we shot pigeons in his backyard.
Did you?
No.
Okay.
But he did go to Cypress Lake High School for like a year or two. I went to Florida High School for 1 year.
Okay.
And then we moved back to Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So anyway, we posted that link on our Facebook and Twitter. So go ahead and click that and just have yourself a good old laughing time.
Hilariousness.
Yeah.
Tory, what trailer just dropped that you're all excited about?
Well, trailer number 2 for Deadpool, which, man, I cannot wait. And I think it's long overdue for this character, but I think it's going to be one of Marvel's most successful movies. Not even initially in the theater, per se, but I think possibly DVD even. Yeah. It's just going to be one of the more, surprisingly, it's going to surpass expectations.
Yeah. It's definitely, Ryan Reynolds is trying his damnedest to get this thing in front of people's face. There are so many different viral videos
and vignettes and everything, and I think it's really succeeding.
Yeah.
And I love sharing it because for people who aren't familiar with Deadpool, he's an anti-hero, but he's super cynical and definitely not your typical superhero character. Yeah. He's neither a villain, he's neither a hero, and doesn't have all the qualities of either. He has traits of both.
Okay, so but this is Marvel. This is the Marvel universe, and does he skew more towards X-Men stories or regular? Does he? Work with certain people often.
He skews more towards X-Men stories than Fantastic Four or anything because he was made in the Weapon X program that that also made Wolverine, Sabretooth, etc.
Yes.
So so his origin story or how he got his superpowers is similar to the Wolverine and etc. And matter of fact, in trailer number 2, you see Colossus and a couple other characters, some of which are X-Men. In the second trailer, saying, "Hey, you're killing people, and we're not going to stand for that." Right. It's like, hey,
is Colossus on his side though? The trailer made it seem like Colossus was working with Deadpool, or did I get that wrong?
Well, again, Deadpool doesn't really have a side. He's playing his own game.
Okay,
he
has his own.
He has his own agenda.
Yeah.
He has his own agenda, but X-Men want to make sure the world is a better place.
Right.
So when you have a 15-car pile up with dead bodies all over the place, X-Men saying, "Hey, whoa, Deadpool, you can crash a car, but don't make sure you kill anybody." He's like, "Hey, they were dead when I got here."
Yeah. And it's a big experiment kind of for Marvel because it's a rated R superhero movie.
It's probably going to be rated R. I don't think it's
rated
officially rated yet. Not officially.
How could it not be R though?
Right? because they have
they're
R
red band trailers.
Red band trailers. I don't think it's officially rated. Or they could be saying it's going to be rated R or NC-17, and they definitely don't want NC-17.
Right. They would probably do an NC-17 like version of it though.
Possibly, yeah.
Which is that's
like on
silly.
I don't even know if they would do that because you can't DVDs. Can't be bought by minors.
But you can like they're digital copies mainly. Like, what would be the cost of producing just doing an extended
and I would,
cut of,
depending on how the movie is in the R-rated version, I may or may not want to see a NC-17. Like, i.e., The Final Girls, my movie.
Yeah.
People were saying, I expect it to be rated R with a whole bunch of blood and nudity and everything, but you really didn't need it in The Final Girls, in my opinion, in many people's opinion.
Yeah.
It would have changed the thoughts and feelings of the movie if it were rated R.
Yeah.
So the movies in general, it could take a step in a different direction with the higher rating it has.
Yeah. It's hopefully it. I don't know if I am gonna rush out to go see Deadpool when it hits theaters in March. I think February. But I certainly hope it succeeds because there's a lot of great stories, a lot of great superhero-ish stories that can only be done in R ratings.
Yeah.
In an R rating.
Absolutely.
Like Spawn.
Absolutely.
Spawn's one of my, like we grew up, Cash and I, we watched those animated Spawn and the Spawn comics and stuff, and it's like, this is so intense and beautiful, and like these characters are so crazy, and I just want more of it. But then the movie was underwhelming, and I think that was it an R movie? I can't remember.
It was an R movie. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
I believe
Michael
so.
J. White.
Michael J. White. Yeah.
But if they did that now with today's technology, it's like, that thing would rock.
Sure.
That would be so
and
fun.
You can even go to comedy route. Like This Is the End was rated R. I think that was such a hilarious movie.
You love that movie.
I love that. I went to go see it twice. I've never seen anything twice.
What was your favorite part of that movie? What was the
everything?
What was your favorite joke?
I'll just on the walls and I want to. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Who said that?
Danny
McBride?
Yeah, Danny McBride.
He finds like the nudie magazine.
Yeah.
No one come in here for a while. I'm sleeping. I'm gonna sleep.
Guys, if you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. Go rent it. Go buy it. I guarantee if you buy it, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah. That's great. All right, so you're gonna go see Deadpool. Pretty sure.
I think it's gonna be open Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh, of course.
Maybe not that weekend because I might have some other plans.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I do. I'm gonna be in New York, so I'm probably not gonna see a movie while I'm in New York.
They're opening Valentine's Day weekend.
I think so.
Gosh, how many women want to see Deadpool? I don't know.
Nerds.
I don't know.
Nerds with their boyfriends.
But it probably makes sense. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Tory, hold our hands and walk us through the street that is. My analogies are garbage today. I just need to stop.
You know what? It's the end of the year. You're just getting them all out now.
I'm pretty fried. This year has fried me hard.
You know what? No worries. I'll take over the reins and walk everyone down the street that is pilot season. Is that what you're going with?
Just no.
All right.
Let's pretend that didn't
Let's
happen.
pretend. Yeah. Just
What pilot season?
Cool.
In a nutshell, what is it?
So, guys, pilot season is the time of the year where studios produce new shows for the most part.
Okay.
That's what traditional pilot season is. In the past, in recent years, it's kind of been like pilot seasons year-round mostly. But traditionally, pilot season is the early part of the year, spanning from January to April, late April, early May, when all or most of the new shows are shot from television studios. So, and you think of most of any show you like on television right now, most of them were shot during the beginning of the year, edited, and the pilot episode is episode number 1.
Right.
So the first episode of any new series. So there are so many, first of all, scripts that are written as pilots. And then you shave those down, and a selection of those actually get funded and produced and shot into an episode for a series. And then the studios review them and then try to sell them to networks. And if no one likes them or if they think it didn't pan out the way they wanted it to, they're shut down and they don't get produced into a series.
Now let's pause on one. I think this is real fascinating. So, a bunch of pilots get shot.
Yep.
All
in the beginning of the year.
I don't know. We don't know the numbers or anything, but
hundreds.
Let's say between a few studios, a few studios, 100 is shot.
Sure.
And then they review them, and they push all of them? Like, what's the next? Is that sweeps?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know if you even know this. Do they push all of them in front of sweeps people or however, and then the sweeps just pick them, or do they weed them down beforehand?
I'm pretty sure they weed them down beforehand because they want the best shows that they have to get picked up.
Right.
And picked up, by picked up I mean produced for a season.
Right.
Or for as many episodes as it can. This is jumping ahead a little bit. So if a show gets picked up, it will either get like a full season order, which is typically 22 episodes, 22 episodes, or a network. So again, I always go back to like the 2.5 Men scenario. 2.5 Men was produced by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But the network it was sold to and distributed by was CBS.
Okay, so explain that to me. I don't understand that.
Sure. So Warner Brothers is great because they don't really have their own television network. You know?
Right.
There's no like WB station. CBS is here in LA is Channel 2, NBC, Fox. Those are like television studios and networks.
Yeah. Okay.
Warner Brothers doesn't have a network right now. Mm-hmm. So they still produce shows, but they sell them to networks. Mm-hmm. So Warner Brothers produced 2.5 Men and sold it to CBS, the network. And that's why 2.5 Men was on CBS.
Okay. But it's possible for NBC to produce a show and it gets shown on ABC.
Yeah. That's the same thing.
Why the heck does that happen?
Because for several reasons. And also it's quite possible for NBC produced series to play on the NBC network as well.
Right.
It just depends. Now, there's certain networks that have a kind of a flavor to them,
right.
For lack of a better word. For instance, ABC, you might say they have a lot of diverse shows. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a comedy or drama, they have a lot of diversity on their network, which is fantastic. I love that. Yeah. You think of Scandal, you think of
Blackish.
Blackish, exactly. You think of Fresh Off the Boat.
Yeah.
Those are all diverse casts, and that's what ABC tend to go with.
Yeah.
CBS has a lot of procedurals on them, like a lot of cop and drama shows.
Yeah.
NBC has some comedies that are typically, single cam versus CBS, which has a lot of multicam. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So studios just want to make a good show and then sell it to whatever episode, whatever network is the best for that series.
The best home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they want to make it not just the best home, but the best pricing as well. Because they're selling the show, so they want to make money off of it.
Right.
Because the networks want to make money from the viewership and from the commercials.
Right.
So that's the factory is a studio, and the distributor are like the store, like the Rouse or the Vons or the Safeway is a network.
Okay. All right. Sorry to derail you.
No worries. No worries.
Thank you for clarifying.
Exactly. Did I answer your question?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So, again, that's what pilot season is, when typically at the beginning of the year when all the new shows are shot, have their first episodes shot. Now, again, that was traditionally, there were pilots being shot year-round now, but again, the majority of all pilots are shot in the beginning of the year during pilot season, which the timeline is typically January through late April, early May. Mm-hmm. Okay? After late April, early May, just FYI, guys, sometimes the industry kind of takes a break and a hiatus over the summer for like a month, and then comes back in like late June, early July, and goes through the end of the year, and that's episodic season, when shows that are already on the air and the pilots that have been picked up shoot the remainder of their season. So that's why they're episodic series.
Gotcha.
Not just a pilot episode.
Gotcha.
All right. So we went over what is pilot season and when is pilot season.
Yeah.
Now, as an actor, there are several things, multiple and numerous things you can do to prepare for pilot season. And now this is the quote break, the winter break, where almost all production shuts down over the last 2 weeks of the year because people want to go home and spend time with their family over the holidays and just take a break and take a breather. A lot of people don't get a vacation throughout the year, so this is their one and only time for a vacation. So they're going to take that, you know.
Yeah.
So it slows down for actors because there's nothing to, really shoot and nothing to do. So you have a couple weeks in which you can prepare yourself for the upcoming year, and especially pilot season. Some of those things include updating your resume online. There are certain websites, which I think we've talked about at least briefly before, in which an actor needs to be on. Actors Access, LA Casting, Casting Frontier, Now Casting, etc. Those are all online actor. Those are on all online services in which actors are submitted and try to get auditions. That's a very, very brief synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to make sure that all your stuff is updated online, including your resume. If you booked anything over the past year, any new credits, if you took any new classes, you put your classes on there. If you
learned how to juggle.
Any special skills, you need to put that on there as well.
Yeah.
Do you know how to juggle?
I do.
Okay, that's a good point. Always tell the truth. Always tell the truth, no matter what it is. Because literally, I've had experiences where I've seen people lie on their resume and get called out for it. Ooh. For not only special skills, but credits. Because sometimes people don't pay attention to who casts what show, especially if the show's off the air. So they want to try to stack their resume in hopes that it will get them into more and get them more auditions.
Yeah.
So I could go in and say, let's say I'm auditioning for Modern Family. Yeah. I go in in front of the casting directors, and they look at my resume and like, oh, you did an episode of Frasier, huh? I'm like, yeah. I was a barista with Dr. Crane one day. Like, oh yeah. Well, I was a casting director for Frasier, and I don't remember casting you.
Sorry, go ahead.
And so that's like you're just caught with your foot in your mouth, and that's going to put a bad taste and a very bad impression with the casting office for Modern Family if they cast Frasier in which you lied on your resume.
Sure.
Yeah, you were about to say
well, do you think they remember individual?
Sure.
casts?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's their job.
Yeah.
The casting director's job is to have a great memory of actors.
Yeah.
And to know a bunch of actors. That's your job.
Yeah.
So yeah. Because it happens far too often.
But do they let's say, not to go off on a tangent, but let's say you put juggling. Do they make you juggle in the audition, or
sometimes they do? Yeah.
Do they really warn you of that though?
Not
Be
always.
prepared to
Not
juggle?
always. No, not always.
Wow.
They'll say, "Oh, while you're here, great audition. Thanks so much for coming in. While you're here, let me just look over your resume. Oh, looks like you can swallow glass." It looks like you're a fire breather. It looks like you can... Oh, you know what? Do me a favor. Talk in French for me, because you're not right for this role, but we have this other role coming up in which he's supposed to speak French.
Yeah.
And it says that you can speak French on your resume, so say a little something for me.
Yeah.
And if you lie about that and you can't do it or speak in a certain accent, then it's just going to be not a good look for you.
Yeah.
You
BS it or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want to waste their time or your time, and want to give them a good reason for them to call you back in the room in the future.
Okay, so update resume.
Yep. If you
Check.
got new headshots, put your new headshots online.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to get new headshots just to change things up a bit.
Right.
Because, casting directors, when your agent submits you for a role in which a casting director releases, they look at hundreds and thousands, literally thousands of pictures for every role. And if they kind of recognize your face, or if you think that your headshots aren't good enough to make you stand out, it might be a good idea to get new headshots to change up your look and make it pop a little more, in which will make the casting director say, oh, this guy or this girl looks good. She might look like she's right for a role. Yeah. We go ahead and click on her stuff and look at your resume, and then you might be a good segue to bringing you in for an audition.
How many times a year should you get new headshots taken?
Anytime you drastically change your look. Absolutely. Like if you have blonde hair and you go to a redhead, get new headshots.
Yeah.
If you have long hair and then cut your hair for any reason, get new headshots.
Okay.
Vice versa, if you have short hair and then grow it out, get new headshots.
But if you don't really change your look, you know, like you tend to wear
Sure.
your afro and
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
That can last for a while, especially if it's getting you auditions.
right.
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But after a while, if you start to see your auditions go down, or if you're not getting any, or if you change your look, like if you suddenly lose a lot of weight, get new headshots.
Or you get jacked or
Sure,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Get new headshots.
Yeah, get new headshots.
Also, update your demo reel, guys. Throughout the year, even if you're not like casting like a professional production, television or film project, you can also do tons of web series or do different shorts. You can write your own things and produce your own content.
This is something that I felt like actors should be doing more of when I went through acting reels and stuff. It's like, just do a one-sided conversation, like everyone can write a scene. Just write a dramatic scene where you're like, your best buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just write a scene where it's like you're heavy loading on you, and just take a couple of moments out of that. Like, the production doesn't have to be good. Just frame it, have light on the majority of your face.
Yeah. And good sound. Good
spend
sound.
5 minutes on it. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the best quality. You don't need
a DP there.
Exactly. You don't need a red camera or anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say use your iPhone, but you can get a good quality flip phone for $40 or lower.
Yeah.
Or just borrow a friend's camera. Everyone knows someone who has a camera.
Yeah. Yep.
So even if you're not, if you don't have a lot of bookings over the previous year, go out and shoot some with your buddies. There's a great website called mocksides.com. 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 And if you can't find good content, or you don't want to write your own, or can't write your own, go there and they literally have a bunch of sites for actors to use for workshop purposes, for demo reel purposes. As long as you credit them, you can use their material they write for any reason.
Cool.
And that's a great way to get good, quick content to shoot, to get more for your demo reel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So update resume, check. Update pics, check. Update demo reel.
Exactly.
Demo line.
Exactly. Your demo reel.
Oh, go ahead. We're gonna just. There we go.
Yeah, and so there's another good website with some advice for the upcoming pilot season, yearly for actors. And this is a casting director named Amy Jo Berman, and she's an acting coach named Amy Jo Berman, and a casting director as well. And she has a bunch of fans on Facebook and Twitter, and gives out great advice. And I'm gonna share some of her advice. So these are some of the biggest mistakes actors make during pilot season.
All right.
Mistake number 1: treating it like it's an episodic audition.
Okay. What does that mean?
So remember, like I said, the second half of the year's episodic season.
Yep.
So for episodic season, the show's been picked up, right?
Yeah.
The foundation has been laid. You kind of know what the show is about.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're going in for Castle, you kind of know like the ins and outs of Castle.
Yeah.
Or Bones or Modern Family. It's been on multiple seasons, right?
Yeah.
With pilot season, no one really knows what it's about.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fresh, brand new piece of art.
They're
piece of
finding
work.
the characters. They're finding the show itself. Still,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're finding the quirks and nuances, the ins and out of the show. So, yeah, you treat it like with the same basic fundamentals of being prepared and as much as you can be, like an episodic audition, but bring some life, especially if you're going for like a guest star role or a series regular role. They bring some life to it. You don't want to be boring. Don't go for what you think they're looking for.
Yeah.
Go with what you bring to the character.
Go with how best you do it.
Exactly.
That's
The producers and the people who make the decision makers are looking for what you bring in a role. They want to see you as a unique individual, not what you think they're looking for, or not like a stereotypical detective, i.e., or a stereotypical bartender. They want to see what you bring to the role.
I have a story that's an awesome example of that. I can't wait to hear the other rule mistakes to not make.
Yep.
But so they were casting. So Kelsey Grammer had just finished Cheers. This is like 1989 or 1990, and they wanted to do the show Frasier with him. And they started casting people, and they basically got everyone they wanted. They got their whole crew, their whole cast, the 4 or 5 people, and instead of Perry Gilpin as Roz, they had casted Phoebe from Friends.
Sure.
What's her name? I can't think of it.
Geez, I'm brain fart right now. Phoebe, there's Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow.
They had casted Lisa Kudrow as Roz, the producer of Frasier's show. And looking back on it, you say to yourself, "Oh, that's weird." But everyone loved her. It was great. And Perry Gilpin and her were neck and neck for it, and they even kind of became friends or something in the situation. And Lisa Kudrow beat her out for it.
Sure.
Unknown circumstances arose, and basically they did not want Lisa Kudrow anymore. But Perry Gilpin was still available, and I think it was like the week before they shot the pilot, they hired Perry Gilpin officially, and they fired Lisa Kudrow. But that's a situation where, they were both doing something great, and Lisa got the part. But I've heard rumors that she was actually too funny for the role.
Yeah.
And if that's true, then that's a great example. It's like she was too funny. She didn't back down. It got her fired, but a season later she got hired as Phoebe for Friends, and happily ever after.
Sure.
So that's a nice, think of it like, your job is to crush it out of the park the way you think you can do it best.
Yeah.
Not make everyone happy.
Exactly.
And, God works in mysterious ways or whatever, you will land appropriately.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it. You want to, your job isn't to impress the room, it's to do the best job that you can do and what you bring to the character.
Yeah.
Moving on to pilot season mistake number 2, being underprepared.
Ooh.
Now, again, we know that you shouldn't treat it just like an episodic audition. You need to, have a little make it a little more special, or make it mean something more to you. Now, for many actors during pilot season, once you get to this level, you can just be going out, 4 or 5 times a week or more. You can have 3 auditions in a day.
Wow.
Everyone is hustling and bustling to get the best actors they can. And as big as Hollywood is, there's a small network of good actors for certain type of roles in certain type of shows. Especially when I'm sure many of you have heard the term character actor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a guy who's a character actor, and they have his character in a quarter of the pilots that are being produced. That person can be going out multiple times a day, multiple times a week.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you juggle it all? You just got to do the best you can. Everyone has a life, and many people work during the day or at night. You just got to find time in which you would normally maybe play a video game or read a book. You got to definitely just dedicate any extra time you have to being prepared for the audition. Also being prepared doesn't mean just learning the lines and bringing the character out. You can get coached. Definitely get coached for the very special auditions and the bigger roles, especially like the series regulars, especially. But being prepared also can consist of seeing the previous work of the producers and the writers.
Mm-hmm.
These are pilots, so you're not going to see a previous season of this. Is a very first episode. You're not in many pilots. You don't even get the script. You just might get the sides or the scenes that you're in. Mm-hmm. Now, here's a tip from me, from what I've heard from casting directors too.
Tory tip.
Yes, Tory's tip of the day. If you get an audition for a pilot, especially a bigger role, ask your agent to ask the casting directors if you can get the entire script so you can read that.
Yes.
Because if you get the entire script, you can see what your character, what their relationship is with the other characters and what their overall arc in the story of the script is.
Context.
Now, many times the answer will be no. So here's kind of a way to get more than what you were given. When you have your audition, show up a little early. Don't sign in until you're ready, but show up a little early to look at the sides of the other characters. When you go to an audition, the casting directors will 9 times out of 10 have the sides photocopied and with multiple copies out for actors to view in case they forgot it in the car, if they were rushing, if they had a whole bunch of auditions and left it at home. They always 9 times out of 10 put copies of the audition material in the lobby.
Yeah.
So if you can't get your hands on the script, go early and look at the sides of the other characters, because that will give you some insight into more of the script and the relationship of the other characters and who the other characters are as well.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Context.
Yeah.
Just get more context.
Just get more context. But yeah.
That's an awesome tip, Tory.
And again, you just got to be prepared, guys. Because even if you don't get the role, a good pilot audition in any audition will have the casting director bring you back for roles the rest of the season and into the future, even other shows.
Yeah.
And also, there have been times, for instance, Lost. Hugo, I forget the name, Hurley, he originally auditioned for Sawyer. Didn't get it. I can't imagine him as Sawyer whatsoever. But then again, think of what else he could have brought to the role.
Yeah.
But they liked him so much that they cast him in the Hurley role. Oh. I think the guy who actually got who did I just say? Sawyer was originally auditioning for Jack.
Yeah.
And then he got cast in the Sawyer role.
Right.
So not only the casting director, but the producers and the writers, sometimes the producers and writers are one and the same.
Yeah.
Will think, oh man, that was a really good actor. Maybe he fit this role instead. Or you know what? I thought that I wanted this role, Sawyer, to be kind of funny and big, but this guy was just brought something I didn't expect. I think that might be a better direction for the Sawyer character to go in.
Yeah.
So bring whatever you have to the role you're auditioning for, and just have a good audition. Be as best prepared as you can, because even if you don't book the role you're auditioning for, you might get another role in that same pilot or in the future.
Right. Yeah.
Moving on, mistake number 3, apologizing and making excuses in a room.
Ugh.
Simply don't do it, guys. They don't care if they might feel sorry that you got hit by a car, that your dog just died, or that you had another audition that you were preparing for and chose that as priority over this one. Yeah. Which, by the way, if you're going to say any excuse, don't say that one. But they don't care, because okay, sorry for you, but I have a job to do.
Yeah, they're seeing hundreds of actors that day.
Hundreds.
They just want you to.
They just want you to come in and do your job. Yeah. That's. I'm sorry, I just got the material. Yeah, so did everyone else.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the excuse is. Come in, be as prepared as you can, and do your thing, and leave it in the room. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Just don't make excuses. Yeah. And pilot season mistake number 4 from Amy Jo Berman. Making pilot season your be-all and end-all. Putting it up on a pedestal. Like, if I got to book something, or else I'm going to, move back home, or, I'm going to be a failed actor if I don't book something. Yeah. No, guys, listen, it's everyone knows it's incredibly tough to have a career as an actor. Yeah. There's so many actors out here and so few opportunities. You're going to hear no a lot more than you hear yes. Yeah. So you have to keep it in perspective. Like, yeah, you could get an audition for a series regular, which could change your life, but it also could change your life for the negative as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just do your best, and you got to keep on living life. Just keep on living life, and you leave it all in the room. That's your job, to go in there, do the best you can do, and leave it all in the room.
Yeah. Have fun with it. Have fun with it.
And that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 pilot mistakes from Amy Jo Berman. Okay. Now
we're gonna put a link to her site.
Exactly.
In the show notes,
great tips.
So check it out and everything.
And speaking about living your life, you got to be. This is kind of a combination between being prepared and don't make it your end all be all. Yeah. Be all end all. You have to live your life and go. Be a regular person, do your things, have fun, play basketball, play video games, whatever your not your vice, but whatever you do to keep yourself happy. Go out and live your life.
Yeah.
But always be ready for whenever the opportunity comes.
Yeah.
It might pop up all of a sudden, especially during pilot season. You might get a same day audition. Say, hey, we need you to be in Culver City or downtown by in the next hour. You know, so just always be ready for whatever.
Yeah.
But don't stop your life waiting for the opportunity that may or may not ever come. Okay. Right. Also, guys, don't bother your representation. If you have an agent and manager, which I hope you do, don't bother them during pilot season. Don't email them or call them. Hey, any gigs for me? Hey, how's it looking? Hey, did you put me? I want to go in for this. You know, that's kind of acceptable. Like, hey, I saw this role. I think I'm perfect for. I really want you to pitch me for this. Great, fine. Don't make that a habit of doing it multiple times a day, especially for roles that you're not perfect for. You just want to get into the office. You know, they're really busy. You're not their only client, so let them do their job. If you're with them, I hope that you trust them. If you don't, you know, figure something out to either regain the trust and get a better relationship with them, or try to find a way to move on. It's kind of hard finding a new agent during the middle of pilot season. So if you're like in between or you need to make a change, do it like literally the first week or the first 2 weeks after the break is over in the new year. And lastly, guys, I recommend when you get an audition, sometimes it's the next day, so you may not have time to hire a coach. At least get with a friend who you like and respect and trust. Hopefully it's another actor. Doesn't have to be, but at least someone who has a good eye and good advice to run the scene and run your lines. Yeah. You know,
have we done that before?
We have, I think.
Okay,
we have, I think, a few times. Not a lot, but I think we have.
I think I was phenomenal.
I think you were fantastic as well. It was I was confused whose audition it was after it.
So was I.
Yeah, but yeah, get together with someone to run the lines, guys. It's all about being prepared, and it's different when you you say it to yourself and you memorize the lines. When you hear the opposite lines out loud, it completely changes the landscape.
Yeah.
Also, from experience, you're not always going to get what you expect from the reader.
In the room.
Yeah. Meaning, let's say, and there's so many. I don't know how actors are like get so strung up on having a female reader for a female role. You know, you're not going to get that all the time. For instance, the casting assistant might be the one who's reading with all the actors, and they may be reading all the roles. Right. You know, men and women. If you're expecting a woman to read a woman's role or a man to read a man's role, you may not get that. Often you don't, and don't let that throw you off. Also, don't expect every reader to give a whole bunch of energy. You know, they might be tired. They're reading, hundreds of actors a day.
After lunch, they are
going
not.
to the late night and callbacks and everything. Yeah. Sometimes callbacks are like literally go to 8, 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And so don't expect the reader to give you as much as you're giving yourself.
Yeah.
So,
but you still got to play it. If it's a high energy scene, you still got to play it high energy.
Exactly.
Or, I guess
you
it out.
You got to do what's appropriate for your character in the scene that you're given.
Yeah.
But again, don't be thrown off if the reader who's reading the opposite lines doesn't match your same energy. Yeah. You know, or if it's not the sex for a female role or a male role. Yeah. So that's why it's great to run it with your friends or run it with a coach in various scenarios. So that way you'll be prepared for anything once you get into the room.
Say, you said this a couple episodes ago, but say that line about how the audition is the work and the...
Yeah. You have to think like the audition is the job, the audition is the work, and once you book it, that's the fun.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you have to do your work. It's a job interview.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. It's just a different term for a job interview.
Yeah.
So you do your work in the audition, and once you get on set, that's the fun.
Because I could see how, as an actor, it would be pretty like draining to think of the whole process. Like, oh, I gotta audition after audition after audition, and then I gotta then I have to do the part. It's like, well, once you've been selected, air quotes, cast, they believe in you.
Sure.
And you still need to learn your lines and figure out the character and do this work. But you've been given the benefit of the doubt, and now you just need to do what you can do.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's not that's not to say that once you get cast in something that all the pressure's off and that you can just, lackadaisically take it and do whatever,
Right.
and just, kind of be flim-flammy with it. I don't know why I said that,
It's a great word.
Flim-flammy.
You should use it more often.
Wait, who said that?
Flim-flammy.
Flim-flam.
Did Cash say it?
I don't know. I want to say it was like a dumb president we had.
Oh, was it Donald Trump?
No, got it. This is not a politics podcast, all right?
Small tangent. Will Ferrell was on SNL the other night and other week, and he did. The opening monologue was him as George W. Bush.
Yeah.
And he the joke was, you should vote for me for this year's presidency.
Okay.
It's funny because he could not be, but he goes through all the candidates and he just he's dumber than me.
Yeah. That's great.
It's awesome.
So yeah. Anyway, once you book it, don't think all the pressure's off. You still got to bring it, but have fun and enjoy it.
Yep. Yep. Make it fun, guys.
Exactly.
Tory,
have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, bam. Tory, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Yeah, man. And good luck and break a leg to all the actors out there going out for pilot season. And tweet us your success.
Yes.
Tweet us your success, and if this podcast helped you when you're getting all these bountiful auditions in the new year.
using Tory tips.
Yeah, exactly.
# Tory tips.
Yeah.
No, but tweet us at Cord and Tory Show. Let us know. We would love. Hopefully, something here Tory has said is pushes you in the right direction.
Exactly.
I know a lot of actor buddies that I'm going to send this to.
Cool.
I think this is a great.
I think it will. I think
kind of breaks down the walls that are pilot season.
Exactly.
And helps people kind of approach it better.
So at Cord and Tory Show, that's our handle on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
And on Facebook, you can search the Cord and Tory Podcast Show, like our page. And where can they find us? Where can they find the actual podcast? Where can they stream it and listen to us?
They can stream it on SoundCloud or iTunes. Just search Cord and Tory Podcast Show or Cord and Tory Show. And then we also have a YouTube channel that we're putting up the videos for every show, which is at Cord and Tory Show.
Cool.
Something along that, just YouTube.
Yeah, the Cord and Tory Show.
If you can't find it, then I'm sorry.
Then you shouldn't.
You're listening to this, obviously, so it's going to be in the show notes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, and while you're on iTunes and SoundCloud, subscribe and rate us too.
Yes.
Leave your reviews, positive or positive, and leave your high ratings on there as well, and share it with your friends, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure you know an actor friend who would love to listen to this or whatever, and we don't do craft episodes every week, but share it.
Yeah, when we do
it.
We don't always do craft episodes,
Yes,
but when we do, they're really good.
Yes.
Awesome.
They're amazing.
Well, guys.
Hopefully next time we meet, we'll be talking about Star Wars, but that's totally if Tory gets his butt up.
I know, I got family in town.
Drops all these auditions that he's doing.
I know,
and
right?
Sees some product of his labor here.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
We're going to go see The Revenant. Or what is it called?
I think it's The Revenant.
Is it The Remnant?
I don't know.
What
I said?
Yeah. No, it's The Revenant. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Happy holidays. And everyone have a very happy and safe New Year.
Yeah.
Be smart. Don't drive drunk. AAA will be giving out free tows if you're too impaired to drive your car. They do that every year. So don't feel ashamed and take advantage of that free gift.
Wow. And we hope you had a great 2015.
Yep.
And 2016 is going to be a great year.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Me too.
Big stuff's going to happen next
Ready to
year.
rock.
Yes.
So join us on all of our journeys to success.
Yes. And our first episode of the new year.
Yeah.
Coming at you next time.
37 coming up.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later days.